in other news, did y'all see Kanye West's apology?
Woo,
Street
on
Journal?
Twitter.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
Break it down.
So Kanye came out a few days ago and wrote an apology letter and posted it in the Wall Street Journal. He details his accident and how it caused his bipolar 1 disorder, and he was misdiagnosed. He didn't know in the beginning. He starts to know, and then he goes through pretty much the manic episodes that they experience and how he's sorry to the Jewish community as well as the Black community for how he's offended us. And at the end, he's not even really saying he wants us to even forgive him. He's just saying, this is me coming out and saying, I'm sorry, and this is what it is. Do y'all believe the apology, or do you think this is followed by more bullshit?
Let me speak to that, and I'm being very sincere. I'm not going to get into depth, but I deal with mental illness. It does not absolve you, and I do think people use that shit as a crutch for their bullshit. What I will say is, I'm privy to, when you own, you really be on. And if you under the influence of drugs and or alcohol, and I'm sure he's dabbled in that, that just enhances it. You're manic. So I can look back in my Rolodex, man, I done said some shit and did some shit that my kids and or family have seen that right now in this moment, I can recall doing it or I can't. But when I can't recall, I really didn't mean that. Mm-hmm. And then there's the other side of, if you know him personally, know his personality, you can see past that and be like, yeah, I know he got these issues, but nah, he full of crap. But because we don't know him personally, and I'm just privy to mental illness, and I know what, bipolarism is, mm-hmm. I can believe that. Because when you own, bro, you be on. And the people around you, as much as they telling you, like he said, hey, he ain't taking his medication. Mm-hmm. I know you don't be taking your medication. I ain't taking that. I don't need that. I ain't crazy.
I'm going to keep it real, bro. It's cap. It's cap. Kanye was tired of being blackballed. He wants to get back into the flow of everything. He been talking about dropping this Bully album. And voila, like magic, the second that he drops that apology, which sounded like it was written by a lawyer or ChatGPT, boom, the clearance for Bully drops. It's supposed to drop March 20th, right? Mm-hmm. So right around the corner. And it was some other business dealings that was revealed. I got to look up exactly what it was.
He signed to someone.
He signed to someone, for this rollout. So to me, it's bullshit, bro. We had an interview with Wack 100, and he told us Kanye is sharp as a thumbtack. He'll have 5 different conversations with you on purpose and then ask you about all 5 just to see if you caught everything. Kanye know what the fuck he doing. He be meaning everything that he say. I don't believe he even needed to be on medication. As you remember, they were trying to medicate him up. They medicated him against his will and told him, hey, if you get out of line, I'm going to medicate you again and you ain't never going to see your kids again. And this was his personal trainer. So Kanye, I believe Kanye had the same interaction that Andrew Tate had, right? They thought they were going up against something that they believe they can beat, and they got some new information that was like, holy fuck, this rabbit hole is deeper than I thought. Let me just back the fuck up.
Right. And I agree with bro 100%. I still don't see Kanye as crazy. And I never cared enough. I don't even know why he apologized. And like, I don't know who he really as far as the Black community, what he offended us with. You shouldn't have been that offended from him. And I just don't think, I think this is just to get back in good graces. You get to a point, like bro said, it's higher powers to make him just get back in line, man. You got to go out here and do it in the public, and using this as an excuse, like the doctors missed all this. Like, this is just how they control the narratives and to allow a person to move forward. Like, nigga, we know we put BTA to you, so go out here, apologize. We ain't going to put it on Front Street. You going to put it out there, and now we're going to allow you to eat to a certain extent. We still not going to allow you. Don't ever try that shit again. So now I just think he's just falling in line. Like, that's the only thing. And I think they leave that with more threats. So shout out to Kanye, but Kanye, come on, man. Because he tried to build. Just imagine if Kanye would have got to build with, like how when Diddy was coming out and saying, I'm trying to get all the billionaires together, and he was getting at people like, nigga, I done beat the system. He thought he beat it, nigga, they done pull out a newer whip for him.
Right.
So
what you think? No, I was going to just say, he's suffering from a heartbreak, bro. Ever since his mom passed away, grief is not linear. He's acting out, bro. His mother was just the person who checked him, bro. That was his biggest fan. That was his confidant. That was his support system. Without his mother being here, bro, Kanye is no longer Kanye. He's apologizing. I do agree, maybe to get back in good grace, because maybe success is something that his mother and him always talked about being the biggest rapper, being the best rapper, the best producer. So now that he's no longer like relevant and kind of lost his passion because what's happened and transpired with all his antics, he kind of want to get back to the basic. He has to get back to Ye, making music, being one of the best producers in the game. So this is a way for him to work on himself, taking a step back. But I still think it's a mixture of mental illness, getting back in the game, but ultimately it's a broken heart from his mother being deceased. He is grieving, and he has never processed that.
I agree with the broken heart thing, and I'll give credence to that. However, there has to be some accountability to Kanye West. You're 30 years old at the time or 32 years old. You have a lot of money, a lot of resources, right? And again, I know you have a lot of yes men around you, but at the end of the day, it comes down to you saying, I need help. And then I have the money and the resources to go get that help. So for me, that's strike one. You didn't do that for however many years. You medicated, right? You got up under women. You took them, you made them your muse, and you did all these things to maybe get away from that broken heart. So that might be true, but you still have to go and do the work, right? And then we talk about his disorder. I'll give credence to that as well. But you can compare it to a drug addict, right? I don't know if y'all have dealt with anybody who's a drug addict, but they might have episodes over and over and over again, and then they apologize, right? And then they get clean, and then now they back in your shit 3 months later looking for some change, or they got a TV from somebody's house. So it's like, at what point do we, yes, you have an issue, but your actions, we have to enact tough love at some point with Kanye West, and I don't think that's what we're doing. I think people get so caught up in the addict and the heartbreak that we become, we end up becoming enablers instead of actually helping him get change. Because at this point, we're not even making him accountable. We've kind of been around him so much and tried to empathize with him so much that we've been Stockholm syndromed in a way into believing everything he's saying instead of giving him that tough love and actually forcing him to get out there and change.
Kali, that's a great point. And I also just want to add to that, to the point where Kanye ego allowed him to run crazy, like run rapid, because he got to a point where people probably wanted to hold him accountable, but I'm bigger than you. Sway, you ain't got the answers. you ain't trying to listen to nobody. You know, so, and we watch him, exactly. We watch him time and time again go bad on people that work for him. He talked crazy to them. You done went bad on your family with the Kardashians, and you created a whole family over there, and he done got out of line with so many people to where it's like, I always tell people like this: do you got diamonds on your front? Do you got diamonds on your back? And what I mean is more people happy to see you coming, or more people happy to see you going. And I think Kanye got to that point where all the diamonds is on his back, where now it's to the point where people don't even want to actually be around him. And you don't realize with all that money and everything else, and outside of that, you're not really with your family, as you say, you alone. And all that money means nothing. You see how you moving around?
All right, so P, again, that's why I started off. It don't absolve you, and it ain't that you not aware. It's that, like, that chemical imbalance. It's like when we faded. It's almost like constantly being faded, or you don't know when it's gonna kick in. When you fade it, you know what you're doing, but you get a little loose.
Not fact.
So that's how them chemical imbalances work. Now, do people play into it more? Sure, which he did. That ego, the drugs, the money, the yes man, it just only made it worse. So when he's apologizing, I agree. I don't think he's apologizing in the sense of like, I didn't mean it. You meant it, but you didn't mean to go about it in such a manner that was very distasteful to a lot of people. Because even though that was a manic state, I felt what he was saying, and I tend to be belligerent myself.
Was
it
really a manic state? Because it's like out of all the episodes. No, let me ask you, out of all the episodes he'd had, they just now finding out he'd been diagnosed with something, and something that they missed.
It's not about them just finding out.
They've been saying he was
it wasn't
bipolar
that they just
for
found
a long
out.
time.
He did. That's what I'm saying. He did this.
When you
2
don't
years
want to
ago.
take your medication, when you don't want to do the necessary things, I see people do it all the time. I was one of them people, but I'm talking about for real crazy people. Matter of fact, some of us been in prison.
Nah,
How them J cats act?
Catting out.
How them J cats act?
Yeah, they be catting out.
Niggas, you think J cats ain't walking the streets?
Nah, we know for
J-Cats,
sure.
Nigga ain't millionaires.
But how many of them we seen turn into billionaires though? Like, you gotta have a different type of mind
You have
to
to.
reach
I
billionaire
understand
status,
what you-
gang. This is what I'm saying. there's too many instances, there's too many cases where you look where people are forced to apologize. They ain't apologizing because they mean it. Forced. You want to get paid in this industry. You want to keep your position. You want to keep your show. You want to keep whatever you got afloat. You're going to do what you're told, and that's it. They just told, Clavicular just got banned in Miami.
Yeah.
Right.
He just sat down with two of them head honchos, y'all know from that Jewish community, and what'd he say? Came back with the post and said, oh yeah, no more politics, only mogging. What they told Andrew Tate and them, yeah, y'all gotta go kiss the wall. You gotta go over to Israel and kiss the wall. So I don't believe Kanye really wanted to apologize, bro. He really didn't. I think he thought that billionaire status made him exempt, and they pushed the button to let you know we're giving you that status. So how do you think that put you over us when we made you that? We allowed you to be that, and we showed you just how quick we can make that billionaire status be insignificant.
We'll turn your TV off permanently. This is
Even
your
if-
last final warning.
Even
Go
if-
out there and
Straight up.
apologize again, and people already think he's crazy. So he has to come out and play this role to my. I'm not even saying play a role to my position, but we watched him even on that when he came out with the thing with the axe shit. That was one of the
with the
Yeah,
like
he
you
had the
said,
swastika
but-
on,
but
iced out.
But that was one of the conversations he was having with him where you had to keep up.
Mhm.
A lot of
Yeah,
people
so-
thought he was crazy when he had that interview.
Even
Right.
if you got a Benz, you still a nigga in the coop.
I was just about
And,
to say,
I think that's what really you got around Nick Fuentes, you got around Sneeko and Andrew Tate and all these niggas, and you being around them having the same money, they're not looking at you. Go on their pages and listen to how they talk about everyday regular black people compared to you. I think he got around those types of people. A lot of yes men. You seen the niggas he was with, the academics video, ain't no niggas around.
No nigga.
Period. Because what black person gonna say, hey, yeah, put that KKK on? Even if you understand the message behind it, the deeper meaning, you're not going to go out there and tell a nigga
we
to
know
do
what
that.
it stands
You're
for.
not even gonna go out there and tell a nigga to put a swastika chain on. What are we doing? Why are we doing that? Even however you feel about it or not, niggas are not going to go out there and do that. And bro thought he wasn't one of them niggas and went up there and flew too close to the sun, and now he is where he is, where he got to come out here.
And I was just about to say, we
apologize.
all have to
Right.
answer to someone. So at the end of the day, now he's coming down to reality. We're like, okay, I'm not bigger than a program.
Exactly.
He like, I'm telling y'all, it's something going on, and I'm gonna go out on a limb to say it's non-human.
They
I don't
putting them
give
niggas in
what
check, huh?
nobody say. Because the way these motherfuckers be getting in line, it ain't no way it's people getting them in line, because ain't nobody bulletproof. I think it, like I said, that rabbit hole go deeper than any of us can imagine. Y'all could laugh about the reptilian and the interdimensional being. Y'all can laugh about all that. But y'all better go tap into David Icke, because he be on Twitter letting you know all day long. These people are pawns, and they're fighting powers to be that ain't even really from this planet. That's why when people talk about going through certain doors, getting visited by certain people, and they always real vague about who they got visited by, and they look like they seen a ghost. A lot of these motherfuckers really seen a ghost.
And imagine, and you speaking facts, and imagine, and I would say David Icke, I told you about his book before, two of them, The Truth Will Set You Free
Oh,
and
God.
Children of the Matrix.
Yes.
Them is two great books that you got to go read to understand what bro is actually talking about, or just go to his page. But just imagine somebody put you in a room somewhere by yourself, they go snatch Kanye up, and some reptilian figures, they got 3 of them niggas in there waiting for you. And these ain't no niggas. He's like, these is monsters, aliens, whatever you want to, you thought you can't believe.
Hey, but Pete-
Understand. We might not understand it, but there is that type of reality for
Out
somebody else.
Yeah.
The same way Chicago might not be a reality for you, and you see so many people getting smoked out there, and you can't believe it, that reality exists in somebody else's reality. So I think once you reach those levels, and these movies will tell you, and even go look up Monique. She talked about she was doing a show, and she told the dude to take off his glasses. Long story short, the dude was just smiling at her. She said, I ain't gonna tell you again, take off your glasses. So when he took off his glasses, he said the dude pupils was pitch black. You know what I'm saying? No white around him. Looked crazy. She said that she told the dude, she just walked off, put the glasses back on, bought him a drink. She said she didn't want no more problems. But y'all can go type that in and look it up. She break down the story way
You don't know who
more
you
in depth.
dealing with.
Roseanne
Yeah.
as well. Roseanne been,
And she was talking to Roseanne.
yeah,
matter of
Roseanne
fact.
been letting
Yeah,
y'all know
so-
this is real.
So how y'all speaking on David Icke? See, I'm privy to both them books. I ain't gonna mention the people he named in there. Y'all can go read it. They ain't finna come after me. But some of them presidents, and y'all know who, look at how they look now in their old age. Look at, I want to say his name so bad, but them people gonna come get me. Because I'm not on those conspiracy That reptilian bloodline is real. And that president that I'm talking about that's in that book, look at how he look right now.
Man,
he
they
look
said
like the Walking Dead.
They said half of them ain't even
real.
gone. They ain't never left.
They walk amongst us. Y'all talking about
Yeah.
conscious. They talking about they can put your consciousness on a computer chip and
So
translate it to a
so
new body.
remember
Use
years-
a vessel.
Remember years ago, who was that? Was that the President or Vice President McCain that accidentally shot somebody when they was hunting?
Yeah.
That was Cheney. Oh, Cheney. So, yeah. Get that book. Remember Dick Cheney did that. They talk about that way before Dick Cheney did this. They talk about the presidents and the vice presidents when they go
Human hunting.
They human hunting.
Black Force.
All of that. That's real. That's going on in there.
Bro,
So,
they got a movie about that. Ice-T was in it.
Word, I ain't seen it.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Human hunting. They put you on an island. They let you get you a
That's when
head
he
start. And then the wealthy, they pay to
He was in
hunt
the cabin.
humans.
Yeah, he was in the cabin. We had to run from it. Yeah,
It's
that
similar to the Hunger Games and everything else.
Yeah.
Even if you think about, I guess, the idea of the reptilians, man in black.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
what I
know,
was gonna. That's what I was actually gonna bring up.
That's the only thing I can give you an idea of. So it's wild when you really think about that, though. But
Let me ask y'all, what good shows y'all watching right now?
I was just about to bring that up. So look, I was gonna ask y'all this. Last night I was watching Netflix, right?